What's up guys, it's Johnny Candido of Candido Training HQ. Today I'm going to talk about overtraining and what you can do to avoid it. Now I know it seems like everyone has their own unique definition for exactly what overtraining is, but I define it as what occurs when your training intensity doesn't translate into progression in the gym. I think it's safe to say that unless you're a beginner, you've experienced this at some point in time, where you put in the work in the gym, but you don't necessarily see the results to match it. And this can be quite frustrating, and that's why it's very important that you make the proper adjustments. There are really two aspects to overtraining, and that's the physical side and the psychological side. So as far as the psychological side of things, you can really tell if this is an issue if you're feeling a bit anxious or nervous before your workouts. So my rule is that if you feel nervous for 3 straight workouts, that then you need to make some adjustments. And that's something that people really underestimate, is that your programming should take into account psychological factors, because that's crucial. If you aren't feeling motivated, it's not necessarily your fault. Overall, the good news is if it is just a psychological issue, you can actually keep your training intensity high and just adjust the weights and rep ranges that you are using. So for me, for example, something I do is I often just go back to benching 225 for as many reps as possible, or 250. And this really helps because if I'm used to benching 300 plus and just always working in that 1 to 4, 1 to 5 rep range, this allows me to take a break and really hit numbers where I don't even know what to expect. So I'm able to just train without overthinking and constantly judging about how well I'm performing. See, that's actually extremely common with powerlifters especially, is that we can easily get caught up in testing ourselves rather than actually just strength training. As far as the physical side of overtraining, this is where it gets a bit more serious. You can usually tell by if you have any joint discomfort. That is the #1 sign. So for me, I've actually personally felt discomfort in my right shoulder, and this was from bench pressing constantly with heavy weights. And so to adjust for this, I really can't keep the intensity high and just move on to different rep ranges. For this, you do actually need to lower the frequency or lower the intensity, or do both. Now, if you are feeling the physical effects of overtraining, then I do suggest that you take a deload week. Now, as far as how hard that deload week is, I think a lot of people go a little bit too easy on it, but you just want to make sure that you're comfortable, that you're generally using higher reps, that you're fully recovered, and that you're just not pushing yourself too hard. It is really important that you identify whether your effects of overtraining are just mental or if they are mental and physical. Because I see a lot of times people just do have those mental effects, and then they kind of use it as an excuse to take an easy deload week, when really they could push themselves just varying their training. But on the other hand, if you do feel those physical effects, chances are you'll feel both the physical and mental, and then that is when it is a serious issue. See, it isn't an accident that I've only had 1 or 2 very minor injuries, and I've never had a serious injury in my entire life. People act as if that's just a matter of luck, but the truth is that's the result of proper programming and always listening to your body. And even if you don't get hurt pushing through these physical effects of overtraining, you won't get stronger in the long run. What you'll find is if you do take that deload week, that usually you bounce back and are able to set PRs pretty quickly. So that's it guys, I hope this video was helpful. Make sure to like the video, support the channel, subscribe if you haven't already, and thanks for watching guys. Peace!
As I look up to the sky, thought about 100 things to do before I die, wondering if I could live it all in one life, cause it got all end in one night.